It's our last session of our 10-week course, and it feels like it's flown by. It doesn't feel like we've been doing this for nearly 3 months. One thing I would definitely like to remind you guys all about is that the journey doesn't stop here. You're just getting started, and with trading, you're never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something to learn. There's always going to be a lesson. There's always going to be a learning curve. So, just kind of take every stride as you can throughout this whole journey. So today we're going to be looking at basically like kind of putting everything together to build your trading career to make sure that all of you are at a point where you're actively trading, but you're being successful. And with the success that you're establishing within the markets, you're able to take that, build wealth, and in return, which all of you guys, I'm assuming you will want, you will be able to live a comfortable life because that's the whole purpose of trading. It's all about helping you and supporting you to live a comfortable life, whether, as I said in the beginning, is to pay your bills, or whether you want to work as a full-time trader, or whether you want to use it for disposable income to go on holiday. It should all come together to make sure that you live well. So that's the whole purpose behind me teaching what I'm teaching. Now, today we're literally going to be just focusing on reviewing and refining the strategy that we've all learned, building your personal trading plan, avoiding mistakes, scaling accounts, so kind of being realistic about how you can scale your trading account, your future learning paths, and kind of the mindset that you need in order to be successful in a game, because it's all about resilience at the end of the day. So, first things first, reviewing and refining your strategy. So we've all got the strategy. I hope that we all kind of have a very good idea of the sort of strategy that we use, which is wave theory, of course. So we're using impulse and corrections with Fibonacci, pattern identification, identifying key areas of supports and resistance, and looking at our divergence and our indicators and bringing it all together to create this kind of powerful strategy, which should help us to be able to generate money on a monthly basis. So basically, every trader's edge, it all comes from reviewing what you've learned and just improving on it week after week after week. So one thing you guys need to do if you are to be successful at this is apply what you've learned. Go on the charts every single day, especially the new ones, and really try to apply what you've been learning every single day. I would highly advise for everyone here to do at least 30 minutes a day on their charts, whether it's looking at forex pairs, indices, commodities, and really try to identify trend lines, identify impulses, identify corrections, Fibonacci, divergence. Try to get into that routine of doing it 30 minutes a day. And as you consistently do that, especially being in a community as well, it will help you massively, especially over a long period of time. Alongside doing that, you guys also want to journal. So journaling is a very, very important thing. It's something that every single one of you needs to be doing, and it needs to be fundamental towards your trading journey. If you're not doing it, what's going to happen is that you're going to find yourself getting into bad habits and doing stuff simply because you're not tracking what you've done wrong and what you've done right. So don't just record your wins mentally. Make sure that you record it and you write it down within your journal, whether it's on a digital format or whether you're writing it down with pen to paper. So you want to be recording your wins, you want to be recording your losses, and you want to make sure that you gather all of the lessons that you've learned from those wins and those losses. You want to make sure that you're looking for reoccurring patterns as well. And once you start to identify the patterns, that's when you start to use it as a benchmark for your trading so you can understand what is the best strategy and the best processes you should be using every time you're trading. So whether you're going into trades too early or whether you're taking profits too soon or whether you're missing the retest, all of these things you will continue to refine as you continue to journal as well. So when you're refining things, try not to overwhelm yourself. So try not to get into to a point where you're trying to refine your entry and your exit points or your trend lines or your mindset or your psychological. Try to focus on one thing at a time because when you are trading, this is a long-term game. It's something that all of you should be doing for the rest of your lives, really and truly. I mean, we should be doing it until our age. I mean, even when retired. you guys should still be trading from now to then. So take it easy. Don't put too much pressure on yourselves and really just try to focus on one thing at a time. And remember, the goal isn't to have a perfect strategy, it's to be consistent and to repeat that consistency that you've established to make sure that you are yielding the fruits of all of the hard work that you're putting in. So always try to review with your journal every single week. We've had these lessons in the past and always refine what you've learned. So building your personal trading plan. So as I said to you guys before, I've already sent kind of a trading plan that I use. If you guys don't remember what I've sent, I'll resend it. Also, I think another Dominic sent another online one which I looked into, which is also quite good as well. If you guys want other trading plans, you can go into Amazon. But there's so much resources out there for you guys to use. So definitely try to use these resources. Like I said, I'll send it again because this is what's going to help you to be consistent when you're trading. So you always want to make sure you're using your trading plan as a rule book. So it's your book of rules, which is going to basically tell you quite bluntly, quite directly, this is what you should be doing, and this is what you shouldn't be doing when it comes to going in your trades and just your whole experience with your trading as well. So your plan is what really defines everything. So your plan defines your trading style, how much you risk per trade, and even what times you choose to trade as well. So if you're an intraday trader, your plan should tell you what your setup should look like as an intraday trader. And then if you're a long-term trader, you're a swing trader, if you're looking at your personal trading plan, that should be able to give you very, very clear guides as to what you should be looking at and what setups you should be establishing for yourself as a long-term swing trader as well. So you must, within this, you've got to include your entry rules, your exit rules, your risk management, how you perform, how you review your performance every single week. So please make sure the two things you need to do, one, your journal, and two, your trading plan. Very, very important. Don't get into the trading unless you've got those two things locked in and you're using it every single week. And I would also like you guys to kind of have this as an assignment for yourself as well, to get yourself a journal, get yourself a plan. Make sure you assign yourself to do that within the next week to 2 weeks. The perfect thing is that we are coming into Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. So there is no excuse. There's going to be a lot of, benefits. There's going to be a lot of offers going on right now. So utilize the savings that we can get right now within November to get yourself all of these different resources that you can have. So definitely try to get hold of that. So avoid common mistakes. So another thing which I want all of you guys to really, really kind of bring to the forefront of your mind is really trying to understand what you should and should not be doing as somebody who's just got started into trading. So let's talk about really like what breaks a trader? So, what makes a successful trader in comparison to an unsuccessful trader? Well, the first thing, as I've said to you guys before, is overtrading. So when you overtrade, that is what essentially people assume that by overtrading, it means you're going to make more money. And it doesn't necessarily mean that. What usually happens, which is the reality of overtrading, is that you end up losing more money than you initially made in the first place. So the first thing is first is do not overtrade. When you see an opportunity, take it, but do not force yourself to see something that was never there in the first place. And generally speaking, people who force themselves to see something that wasn't there in the first place usually stems from them over trading or wanting to see opportunities. I'll give you a quick example. Christmas, we have our Christmas rally. Generally speaking, the Christmas rally goes on for a period of about a couple of weeks. Once that Christmas rally is done, the markets gets a bit quiet. Some people, whilst they're sitting down, their family's over, they're on their Christmas break. They want to try to force opportunities in the markets that was never there. Sometimes we just got to sit down, wait on our hands and say, you know what, let me have this break for what it is. And when the markets gets lively again, then I'll come to trade. The money's not going anywhere. The markets has been here for years upon years, and the market is still going to be here later on, whether it's 5, 10 years from now. So never overtrade. There's always opportunity. There's always money to be made. The next thing is always use a stop loss. And every time, as I've said to you, in my personal experience, when I've blown my accounts, when I've lost unnecessary money, it's because I didn't have a stop loss. So a stop loss helps you to stay disciplined, and a stop loss helps you to really trade logically and put your risk to reward in your place comfortably as well. If you don't have a stop loss, you risk losing unnecessary money, and especially if you're just starting off as well, I think that's probably one of the worst things that anyone here could do. Not have a stop loss when they're trading, especially if they're still trying to get comfortable with the markets, what it does and what it doesn't do. And thirdly, so changing your strategy. I've given you all a strategy that is a very, very solid strategy. There's so much to learn within the strategy that all of you guys have. If you just, I guarantee every single one of you on this call, if you commit yourself to learning and refining this strategy over the next 6 months, I guarantee you your hit ratio is going to be out of the world. If you just commit yourself, establish that level of discipline, make sure you're doing your risk to reward correctly, make sure you're using the right percentages in terms of your risk ratio. And if you're committing yourself every day, doing your analysis, literally applying what we've learned, you've got the PDFs, you've got the lesson plans, we've got the community where we're doing our weekly market analysis as well. If you literally just give yourself a minimum of 6 months, I guarantee you, you've got an amazing strategy that every single one of you have been given to for free. Like literally, people are paying grands to get onto courses like this and take on all of this knowledge that I've given you in 10 weeks. Let's put it this way, you've been on a free course, 2.5 months for free. People are paying grands for this. So really take advantage of all of the benefits and the opportunity that I've given you and really try to hone in on the strategy that you've been given. Because I'm telling you, I've gone through every single strategy you guys can think of. Support and resistance, using all of these what's it, chart indicators. I've gone through so much different strategies, and the one thing that I can definitely put my life on, which has worked for me over a long period of time, is this strategy, which is called Elliott wave theory or wave theory. And I'm telling you, it is second to none. So please keep trying to learn that. And also, of course, don't ignore your journaling again. So just keep track of your trades. Make sure that you've got your data to refer to, and then make sure that you set realistic goals. So don't try to double your account every single month. Be realistic on your percentages and your goals that you're going to be achieving. As I said to you, if you're doing anything like, if even if it's about 10, 20% a month, that's really good. If you go into a bank is giving you about 5, 6% a year. So if you're doing 10% a month, that's about 120% a year. Now, I don't want to put your expectations too high, but some of you in this group, if you are trading every single day and you're committing yourself to the markets, you've established a really, really high level of discipline and you're proper strict in what you do. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you in this group are going to be generating 20 to 30% a month. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's definitely achievable if you're trading every single day. So just bear all of these things in mind. Set realistic goals for yourself, depending on the level of trading and the type of trader you guys want to be. If you're a swing trader, your percentages are probably going to be less annually. But if you're an intraday trader, your percentages will more than likely be more annually, especially if you're doing it as a full-time role. So, scaling your account. So today's session is quite a quick one. So, where as you guys can see, we're kind of getting through all of this quickly. And what I want you guys to do after I've gone through everything is ask me questions. I really want you guys to ask me questions like Bentley. So, what do I do here? What do I do there? Like, this is the opportunity for you to really get more clarity based on everything that we've been learning over the last 2 to 3 months. So, please ask questions. So when it comes to scaling your account, really and truly, it's not about growing your account quickly. As I said, it's not about trying to get 100% every single month. It's about being consistent. The people who are successful when it comes to trading are people who are consistent and they're chipping away every single day, just chipping, chipping, chipping. Now, if you can establish that mindset and have that mindset every single month, every single year, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, what you'll find is that your account will grow from 1K, or maybe let's just say if any of you are putting in 10K, for instance, to 100K within the next 3 years, especially if you're compounding as well. So before increasing your lot size and trying to put so much pressure on yourselves, what I really need all of you guys to do is basically say to yourself, okay, I'm just beginning. Let me put on a small risk to reward or small percentage, let's just say 3% for the next 6 months. Once you do that next 6 months and you've been journaling, you've got your trading history, and you can see that you've been consistent for 6 months, then I would recommend for each and every one of you to start scaling up, start putting on more risk, or trading a bit more heavily. But my challenge to all of the new traders here is try to stay on a certain percentage and a certain risk to reward for 6 months, and then use that as a benchmark to see whether you are now eligible to up your game after that period of time. So when you do scale, as I said, your percentages it stays the same. So you're not taking bigger risks. So when your account goes from £10,000 to £20,000, you're not going to take it to £20,000 based on you doing 10% risk. You're going to take it to £20,000 based on you compounding and consistently chipping away every single day. So just bear in mind that compounding doesn't mean increasing my risk to 3 to 5 to 7%. All it simply means is that my risk stays exactly the same. And now, because the value of my account is now at 3K, when I'm doing 3% risk on 3K instead of it being 2K, the value of those rewards or those trades that I'm now seeing is going to, of course, equate to be more money because you're compounding. It's all based on value. So 5% might not sound like much, but when compounding that over a period of 12 months, 5%, risking 5% every single trade, I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of profits and a lot of rewards. So don't rush things. Do not rush things, and do not compare yourself also to what you're seeing on social media. Because I do find that social media puts a lot of pressure on people. People see people posting big money shots, and then they subconsciously feel the need to put more risk on their accounts as well to try to keep up with the Jones. As I've said, stay in your own lane, keep trading, go according to your trading journal, and I'm telling you from now, each and every one of you will succeed in this group. So, last thing within this slide as well, focus on thinking quarterly. Look at your track record on a 3 month basis. When you look at your analysis or you look at your results or your performance on a weekly basis, you lot will get disheartened. I'm telling you, do not look at it on a weekly basis. Journal on a weekly basis. Use your trading plan every single day, every single week, but look at your performance every 3 quarters. And the reason why I say that is because 1 week you might not have a great week. The second week you might have an amazing week. The third week you might have a break-even week. The fourth week you might just have a bit of a good week. Now, if you actually go and you review your performance every single week, what that means is that you're basically going to be a yo-yo. You're going to be like a roller coaster. 1 week you're going to be feeling high, feeling like, oh my God, I've had such an amazing week. The following week, if you made, let's just say, a 5% loss on your account, you're going to feel deflated. You're not going to be motivated. And then the third week, when you're feeling good again, you're going to find yourself going into what we call roller coaster emotions. I went through this experience. Loads of other traders have been through this and are still going through this simply because they're not reviewing their performances. They're not giving themselves a long enough period of time to review their performance. They're reviewing it too quickly without realizing that when you're working in a company, when they've got you on probation, they've got you on a probation for a period of 6 months, meaning they're going to review you after a 6 month period to see if you're good enough to stay in a company or not. When you are looking at company objectives and KPIs, you are looking at it from a quarterly basis. When you're looking at businesses, whether it's IPOs, whether it's, how much profits they've made, they're looking at things from a quarterly basis. We need to apply that same methodology and that same mindset when it comes to us trading as well. Trading is a business. We're not doing this to play games. We're not doing this to gamble. We're taking this seriously because this is where we make our money, and this is what dictates the quality of life that we have. So if we are going to treat this as a business, let's apply things that a normal business would apply to their way of working, which is quarterly performance reviews. So please do that now. We are now in November. If any of you guys started demo trading in September, in December, look at your performance for the 3 months and then measure it on 3 months, and then you'll be cool. So, future learnings. Now, when it comes to continuing to evolve as a trader and someone who's an aspiring trader, really and truly, as I said to you guys from the beginning, you will never be a master to the markets. Always be a student, meaning there's always something to learn, which also means, of course, everything that I've taught you guys, take it one step further. We've got Chat GPT. There's literally no excuse for any of you guys these days. Everything that I've learned, everything that I've taught you guys, literally refine it. If you need to refine it more, put it in. There's YouTube. We've got all of these resources around us. Keep refining it. Ask me questions in the group as well, which I will prompt all of you guys to do. The market is always evolving. The market never stays exactly the same as whether it was 5 or 10 years ago. So we need to make sure that we evolve with the markets as well. If you look at the way people used to trade 20 years ago, people used to trade using sheets. They would literally print out the sheets, they would do their analysis on the sheets about 30 years ago. Now people use TradingView. TradingView was innovative, it was an innovation, but now it's gone further than TradingView. Now people are using algorithms, they're using trading bots. So it's so important that we evolve with where everything is going because we don't want to get left behind. So keep refining your strategy, keep refining your edge, and make sure you keep studying and make sure you're continuously being a student to the game and trying to understand how the markets work. And also, please focus on market psychology. That is the killer of everybody. That's the killer of everything. If there's one thing that will kill all of you quicker than anything else, it's the market psychology and the mindset when it comes to trading. Hence why at the end of every single lesson or session that we do, I'll always focus on mindset lost. So always listen to Trading in the Zone. I'll send some resources in the group again, the same resources that I sent about 3 months ago. I'll resend them, but always try to listen to those audios, whether you're in your downtime on a train, going somewhere, or you're just chilling out. Just listen to it so you're subconsciously putting all of that information in your head and also apply it as well. So that's that. Now, the fundamentals as well. I think the fundamentals is, in all honesty, it is hard to grasp, and I don't expect you guys to pick that up super quick. I've given you guys all of the websites. So you've got FX, Market FX, you've got Forest Factory, you've got Economic Calendar. I would advise all of you to go on those websites, open up all of those boxes or the folders, and try to understand what sort of impact all of those news have on the markets. As I said to you, each and every one of you, the main thing you really need to be aware of is the monetary policy meetings, Bank of England minutes, interest rate decisions. Those are the main things to be aware of. This central bank meetings. Those are the things that really, really move the markets. But then there's also the other big ones, like I named to you guys before, CPI, gross domestic product, non-farm payroll, of course, retail sales for the pound. So always try to familiarize yourself with that as well. And get around other traders as well. So we're all at different levels here. I'm at a different level. All of you guys are at different levels. There's people in here that's been trading for years, people that's been trading for months, people that hasn't started trading yet. Literally post stuff into the group, ask questions, say, guys, I've done this. Can anyone help with this? What's your thoughts with that? Don't trade in silence. Don't try to do things by yourself because you will get left behind. We've got all of the different groups. We've got the signals and we've got the charts and signals. We've got the analysis. Literally, don't be afraid to put your charts in the group. There's no right or wrong here. Nobody's going to be speculating or pointing fingers at you. I would much prefer for any of you guys to be posting stuff in the group that's wrong instead of posting nothing at all, because at least that way it shows me and other traders that there's a willingness to learn and a willingness for you lot to grow. So please try to be more active and proactive in this group as well. And also, so with what I've been doing over the last 6 weeks, I've been building a website and I've been focusing on basically getting affiliations and partnerships with like trading firms, hedge funds, prop funds, all of these things. So what I do want to do is give all of you guys, people who are trading seriously, the opportunity to get access to a large bit of money, whether it's 50K, 100K, or whatever it may be. So that's something that's ongoing on my side. I'm constantly trying to build relationships and speak to different people and different organizations. So one thing that you guys will see is that over the coming months, maybe going into next year, there's going to be so much different opportunities for you lot to get involved in when it comes to making money, rather than using your own money and investing in your own trading account. But again, with those, I would need to see and make sure that whoever does opt in for these things have been trading for a period of time. I need to see a high level of consistency, and I need to see that any of you guys are committed to it. Once I see that commitment and that consistency, then I can refer you to the people who I'm affiliated with, and then we can get you guys handling more money after a period of time. So there's a lot of opportunities coming into the group, into the community. So just I'd say keep your eyes peeled on everything that we've got coming up. I told you this was going to be a very quick one today. So last thing, so mindset. Now, this really kind of ties everything together. And as I said to you guys, and as I'll say over and over again, your mindset is going to make or break you as a trader. Every professional trader has one thing in common, and that's resilience. Anyone who fails, they fail because they've not persisted enough or they've not stayed in the market long enough. The ones who have stayed in the markets for 5, 10, 15, 20 years are the ones who genuinely succeed over the others. So it's so important for you guys to understand the power of resilience and to use that way of thinking when it comes to trading as well. So with professional traders, myself included, we lose trades, we make mistakes, but we come back sharper and harder every single time. And that's where resilience comes into this. Resilience is knowing that you're going to fail, is knowing that you are going to lose your trades sometimes, but it's knowing that every single trade that you lose and every failure that you have, you need to take that on board as a lesson and use that as an opportunity to come back with more wisdom and with more understanding, knowing what you're going to do better next time. It's so important to have that mindset when it comes to not even just trading, to everything in your life. Have that mindset. Losses are not failure, it's a lesson, it's data to show you what you've done wrong and what you could do better. And every losing trade teaches you what not to do next time going forward. And you have to have patience. Do not come in, any one of you who comes into this impatient or wanting to make a quick flip on a short period of time, there's no point even getting involved in trading. You really need to be patient with yourself, be patient with the markets. Do not force things, as I said, do not overtrade. Wait for confirmation, even if it means sitting on your hands all day or sitting on your hands for the next 2 weeks. I've had to wait 3, 4 weeks just for one trade to come in. One trade, I've had to wait 3, 4 weeks. And sometimes you lot may need to do that as well, depending on how you trade or what instruments you're trading. So be patient with yourself and with the markets and detach yourself also emotionally from the charts. This is not, the markets is not something that rewards somebody that's spontaneous or somebody that's emotional or that kind of, has revenge trading or goes through their ups or downs. As a matter of fact, the moment you start to become emotional is the moment you start losing money. So it's so important to really detach yourself and focus on logic and execution and really using that as a way for your edge to keep you in the markets for a long period of time. So ask yourself whenever you trade, did I follow my plan? And if you did follow your plan, great. If you didn't follow your plan, okay, what do I need to do next time to make sure that things work more in my favor going forward? That's how you need to be. So just stay consistent, literally stay consistent with your routine. Make sure you plan every single trade that all of you lot do. And make sure you review all of your trades and just make sure you repeat it as well. And don't compare yourself to others. All of you lot are on very different journeys. Some of you might be aiming for 300% a year. Others might be only aiming for 50% a year. There is no right or there's no wrong in this scenario. It's all about what fits you and what fits your lifestyle. So this is where it comes to your goal setting, understanding what goals are you setting for yourself. Are they realistic? And then once you do set your goals, ask yourself, okay, am I focusing on my goals instead of comparing my goals with other individuals? Because that's another thing that gets people down. So at the end of the day, it's all about long-term success, right? We're not, I'm not teaching any of you guys this, for dopamine hits or to give you guys a bit of a motivation or excitement. It's going to be boring. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So a lot of trading is boring from time to time. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes you're going to feel that like impulse to want to get into a trade when you don't need to. And it's understanding when to listen to that emotion and that discipline. That's what's going to separate you from from an unsuccessful to a successful trader. And that's how you win. That's literally how you become a winner within trading. So, last slide. Now, what does market knowledge capital stand for? There's three key points that I wanted to kind of really emphasize on when rebranding Market Knowledge Capital from where it was about 9, 10 years ago. And the slogan was different before, but I've evolved it now. The focus for me and the focus for anyone who I'm teaching is about one, trading smart. Trading smart, it starts with your skill, your structure, your risk management, emotional control, not gambling. And once you have that framework in place, then that's when you can work towards building wealth. Once you build your wealth, you start compounding, you repeat your decisions daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You've established a high level of consistency, you can see the results. That's when you now live well. And when you live well, that's when you have the freedom to do anything on your own terms. Some of you guys might want to do it, as I said, to go on holidays. Some of you might want just the freedom of being able to do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it, without having to work a 9 to 5. We've all got different reasons. But regardless of what the reason is, the end result when it comes to trading is living well. But in order to live well, you need to trade smart. If you do not trade smart, building wealth, it goes down a drain, and living well goes down a drain as well. So always go back to your main thing, which is in order to do this, you've got to execute this. If you do not execute trading, if you don't execute that, then what's going to happen? You forget that and forget that. And that's the reality of the situation. So please, a lot of people say I want to live, just focus on this at all times. Once you've refined that, you've executed that, everything else will follow. I promise you guys that. Everything else will follow. So just commit to yourself to trading well, and then yeah, you're all going to be in good hands. So that is, as I said, this was a very concise session for today. And one thing I'd like to know from all of you guys, if any of you can unmute yourself, is there any questions that any of you have based on not what I've just spoken about today, but everything that we've been learning over the last 10 weeks? Any questions?
You've been really thorough, Bentley. I know you always get silence, but it's because you've been really thorough.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, sometimes I feel like the thoroughness can make things feel a bit overwhelming for any of you guys here. And I just want to make sure that I do not leave today's call because it is the last call. We're not going to have another Sunday meeting after today. So I really just want to make sure that you guys are cool with everything that's been learned. And if you are, you can give me a thumbs up and then we can literally wrap it up.
Bentley, yeah, I'm kind of happy with what we learned and that, like over these past couple weeks. But I feel that for me, I'm just trying to plan it, so like build some type of plan. Um, so I'm gonna start off with like the demo account, like go through that, see what that's saying, and just get used to like the tools and stuff like that in trading view and that, because I feel that for me, I'm not 100% on it yet. So I feel that just going through that and then going through the lessons and that should be a little bit more better, like setting up trades and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you analyzed a chart yet since we've done our lesson plans?
Not in my own time, only because I've been like, that I work in a gym in it. They've been sending me to like different clubs and stuff like that, so I've had to do training for that as well. So I've
Okay.
kind of been busy like trying to make sure I'm hearing this, trying to yeah. But like a friend of mine, he get Aston, he gave me like a book in it. And then I was able to go through the book, and then a lot of the stuff that you were saying was already in the book that he gave me in it. So it's helping in it. So I'm just like trying to build off that a little bit more. But I don't know if you want to send me like some stuff as well. Like I could give you, yeah, obviously you got my phone number, and then I can just analyze it and then send it back to you, see what happens in it. Just give
Yeah.
me like some testers.
Try to pull it in the group. I want to keep everything in the community because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are very self-conscious of posting stuff because they think, oh, it looks amateur and it might look silly in comparison to other how other people analyze their charts. And as I said to any of you guys, no one's watching you, no one's pointing fingers. That's not the purpose of the community. The purpose of the community is to get everybody to be better every single day, every month, every year. At the end of the day, we're all here to help each other. So, Joel, definitely post it in the course material group. Or we've got the analysis group as well, and then I will try to come back with my feedback. Or if there's even any other traders here as well who can also support with other people, definitely try to support because I want this community to feel a lot more supportive than it currently is. And that's the main focus, especially for myself and this community going forward, to make sure that one, we're a lot more active in looking at the charts and actually trading, making trades. And number two, that we feel like there's a high level of support for people who may not understand things.
Yeah.
Cool. I will if there's no more questions, I think it's safe to say, guys, that we have officially finished the 10-week course. So it's been a good course.
I just want to say thank you. The past 10 weeks has been good. I know the amount of time it's taken you to put all those resources together to do that has not been easy. As you know, I've been doing that a little while as well. So thank you for everything that you've done over the past 10 weeks and looking forward to sharing stuff on the group.
Appreciate it. No, thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Um, I can't join any of the group because I was removed. But can we sort that out at some point?
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, I just want to say, Bentley, thank you. I know how busy you've been with Vestagrow and everything, but you still managed to find time not only just to give us all these resources, but to allow beginners to actually learn without having to put like initial investment in. Because I know a lot of people, they're really skeptical about trading and they're like scared to invest their money in like learning, but you've given them the option and this opportunity to learn without having to pay and to really see that it's sustainable and it's actually something that can work out in the long run if they focus on it. So I think you've inspired a lot of people, and like myself, someone who's just trying to get a grasp of it and maybe like, growing my career and everything, and to be able to do this on the side and get some extra income. It's just been amazing. And yeah, and we owe it all to you.
I appreciate that, James. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And also, Bentley, for the charts and stuff, like in the group chat, do you want to keep it just like solely wave theory, or like say if there's some intraday traders, are they like should they put their charts in there as well, or just keep it mainly wave theory?
Put your charts in there as well. Put your as long as it doesn't contradict too much what we're learning, because I think what I want to try to maintain is people not getting too confused.
Yeah,
So especially if there's new people and someone's putting in a chart that's literally like a complete contradiction to what's being taught, then I don't want to overwhelm people's minds. So yeah, put your charts in. Definitely put your analysis in the analysis group, but I guess just be mindful of what the whole community represents, which is
yeah,
essentially Wayfair.
got you.
Perfect. Well, thank you all. I hope you've all enjoyed our sessions. This recording will be released as well. And again, as I said to you guys, I will resend all of the resources that I sent right at the very beginning when we first started. And let's start on our journey. Let's trade and let's all make money, because that's the reason why we're here, isn't it? To make money. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening and we'll catch up. Have a good one.